Peace, family. Peace on my peace, bro. I'm live on you. I'm live on what is that? YouTube. Yeah, family. Log on to my YouTube page. It's free, family. Log on. My YouTube page is free. Everything is free with me. I don't got nothing to sell my family. Wisdom is free. We're getting ready to go on our tour, and I'm gonna be touring at all the YMCA's. You know, only asking $5 or $10 donation. That's it. It ain't like that. But a donation, you got a 50 cent, that's fine. We're going to be going to Vegas, California, back home, my hometown, Michigan. Where else we going? I said Vegas, California. We're going to be hitting them all. I got some people in Atlanta, and I tell Moorish, I come anywhere, man. You know, we're going to teach this science. But right now, we're teaching online. So let's finish. Where we at? Chapter Silent Brotherhood of the East. Watch this. Chapter 13. Jesus, which is Yahshua. My name Kari Ibn Hakeem Goodman Bey is my name. Kari, Khary, Ibn, I-B-N-A, Hakeem Goodman Bey. I will more. Family, I come, I tell family, people, my family said things that I come anywhere. I come anywhere. And like I tell brothers, they, no disrespect to no counts. I see brothers charging $10,000, $20,000 to do dumb stuff. I say, man, I travel. I'm a real non-for-profit. I don't ask nobody to pay me no ridiculous money. You know, I ask for my time. That's it. I come do my thing. I help people do what we need to do. We teach. But I'm a real organization. I do stuff for kids. Everything that people donate to me, you can claim on your taxes. Nothing fake with me. I do lectures at all universities, schools, everywhere, man. So I don't get into arguing with brothers and all that debating the mess. I don't do that, man. I don't have time for that. That's why I'm welcome on academia and in universities, because I just teach history and real law. And that's just what it is. But listen to this, Moorish. Jesus received the mystic name and number and passed the first brotherhood test. Oh, another, my brother was like, oh, and like I said, family, I don't be afraid to talk about finances because I finance myself. That's the thing I tell brothers. I don't be afraid to talk about finances. I'm a business. When I travel, this is what it costs. That's it. My fee is probably the cheapest all over the world. You know, I travel. My fee be $1,000. That's just what it is. And when I go, I say, if it's 10 brothers, that's nothing but $100. Well, that's nothing. And every city I go, when it's kids, I donate backpacks and pencils and things. So I do a real movement, man. But let's kick this science. The circle is the symbol of the perfect man. And the 7 is the number of the perfect man. The logos is the perfect word. That which creates, that which destroys, and that which saves. This Hebrew master is the logos of the Holy One, that circle of the human race, the 7 of time. And in the record book, the scribe wrote down the logos, circle, 7, and thus was Jesus, which Yahshua known. And in the record book, the scribe wrote down the logos, circle, 7, and thus was Jesus known, was Yahshua known. The master said, the logos will give heed to what I say. No man can enter into the light till he has found himself. Go forth and search till he have found your soul and then return. The guide led Jesus, and I'm using the holy name, Yahshua, because there never was a J in the Hebrew dialect, to a room in which the light was faint and mellow like the light of early dawn. The chamber walls were marked with mystic signs, with hieroglyphs and sacred texts. And in the chamber, Yahshua found himself alone, where he remained for many days. He read the sacred texts, thought out the meanings of the hieroglyphs, and sought the importance of the master's charge to find himself. A revelation came. He got acquainted to his soul. He found himself. Then he was not alone. I'm telling you. That's what it's about, finding yourself. I'm going to give it some more wisdom. We are law-abiding citizens. Don't let no more with that dumb stuff tell you that stupid stuff. We teach. We teach. Every true and divine prophet must contend with the initial rejection and harsh treatment that our message are always universally rejected at first, and never the message that the people desire to hear. In the view of things, Moors, we have this to say. Of all knowledge, self-knowledge is important. But God knowledge, the knowledge of Allah, knowledge is vitally important, Moors. One without knowledge of self is like a tree without roots, but one without knowledge of Allah, without knowing God, has yet to become a tree, Moors. To take place in this world, one must of necessity be determined to act accordingly to law. Only those that abide within the law, our law-abiding citizens, Moors, can demand equal protection and application of lawful directives to the body, which are the people in government, which are regulated by the law of the land, Moors, and to which the law gives life, Moors. All others, Moors, are criminals, aliens, undesirables, etc. They exist outside the sheltering parameters of the law, and they consider outlaws. They are classified and treated as enemies of the peace and retain the barest rights under this Constitution, Moors. We got to know this science. We got to know this science. The irrespective of popular perception, initiation is not a vile word, Moors. Neither is it an event, but rather a process of controlled growth and spiritual development and the unveiling or revealing of that which has been previously unknown to you, Moors, when you come into the light. But the eyes of he who knows the secrets of every heart, Moors, knows those that work in sincerity and guide such in all the ways of life. But the insecure or the insincere, Moors, the workers of darkness, are continually misled, confused, deceived by the very mist of darkness that envelopes themselves, Moors. We got to understand the philosophy of Moorish science is a productive confluence of Kemetic mysticism, philosophy, and esoteric ideologies, all of which is to be comprehended by what us Moors call the gnosis of the not and the naught. The ought and the naught, Moors. The gnosis of the ought and the naught, Moors, of falsehood and of truth. So Moors learning to employ the divine faculties of the higher self through the instruction in the ancient wisdom, Moors, by diligent study, practical application, and the suffering of prudence through a proper knowledge of law. And once capable, Moors, of clearly distinguishing between the worst and the best parts of our being, Moors, it's of the greatest benefit to subdue those baser instincts of the physical, Moors, of the lower self. The better man is inclined to yield to the illuminating wisdom of the divine, Moors. That's why our prophet said he brought us everything it takes to save a nation. Now take it and save yourself. Are we clear, Moors? I hope I'm striking a nerve. I hope I'm striking a nerve. Let me give you something real fast. Let me give you a little something with a little wisdom. Unknown to the vast majority of the so-called Black Americans is the fact that in the year 1492, at Granada, Spain, the last of their direct ancestors, which the Moorish kingdom fell to the Spain and European powers under King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. That's the biggest war in history. I gave you the book. Hold on. You got to understand real law and real history. It's here. Research the biggest war in history. When they stripped you from the fez and the turban and the sandals, for you won't know who you are, for you think you a Negro. It's written, Mel. It's written. It's written. You don't have to listen to nobody. You don't have to listen to nobody. Libraries and everything. We had it. So I want you to look at this, because I stay in this too long, because this is so much. Our divine creed of Moorish Islam. Divine creed. The divine creed of Moorish Islam we as Moors are very familiar with the term nationality and its definition. In fact, we Moors are very familiar with the nationality side of Moorish movement, which was founded by our prophet. The last 100 years, we have witnessed many throughout the history of this movement who were adepts in the area of civics and law, which is great. It served its purpose in the Moorish paradigm, which the whole thing. Yet we have seemed to forgotten the divine, the spiritual side of this movement. Act 6 of our divine constitution and bylaws, it states that we are to teach our nationality and divine creed. Our nationality and divine creed. Come on, Moors. You don't got to let nobody tell you no with they connotated stuff. It's there. The wisdom is here. The secret revelation of sacred Moorish science, past and present. You don't got to let nobody get you with their lies. You don't have to let nobody get you with their lies. Let me give you a little wisdom in the revelation of the sacred Moorish science, past and present. There are many stories and legends pertaining to the lost or sunken civilizations. One of the most written about, Atlantis, is allegedly located beneath the Atlantic Ocean. The other sunken civilization not publicized as fervently is the lost continent of Lemuria. Some scholars believe Lemuria lies beneath the Indian Ocean and Muir existed beneath the Pacific Ocean, etc. But in this history, in this book, The History of Creation by Ernest Haeckel, in regards to Lemuria's location and the human race, he writes, and I quote, the primordial home of man was a continent now sunk below the surface of the Indian Ocean, which extend along the south of Asia, as it is present, and probably in direct connection with it toward the east, as far India and the Sunda Islands, west as far as Madagascar, and the southeastern shores of Africa. W. Scott Elliott, in his book, Story of the Atlantis and the Lost Lemuria, states, Lemuria, at the time of its greatest expansion, nearly girdled the globe, meaning surrounded it, extending as it then did from the site of the present Cape Verde Islands, a few miles from the coast of Sierra Leone, in a southeasterly direction, through Africa, Australia, Society Islands, and all the intervening seas, to a point but a few miles distance from a great island continent which spread over the remainder of the Pacific Ocean and included Cape Horn and parts of Patagonia. W. Scott Elliott was a theosophist, and he said he received his knowledge from exterior clairvoyance. It's my belief that the ancient Lemurians were of modern-day Moorish stock. Moorish stock. I hope y'all hear me. Just as scholar pigeonhole the Moor Empire to Spain and parts of North Africa, they also pigeonholed it the geographical area of Lemuria, the same area, same geographic location, and at its heights, Moors. Muir, M-U-U-R, Moor, M-O-O-R, the empire encompassed the entire earth, Moors. You know that, don't you? In homage to the fez. The fez, the national headdress of the Moors. Since remote antiquity. Antiquity. That's what they don't want you to know about. Antiquity. The Dark Ages. The medieval times. Ancient and modern Britain. When we ruled. Has been held as an object of respect and honor, symbolically, and at times, literally, the person wearing the fez should possess knowledge, should possess a high knowledge and power. Not just some goofball with a fez on. You see him. I know y'all see him. Fez has nothing to do if a person righteous. In Turkey and other parts of the Mediterranean, the fez is known as a tarbouch. In ancient Canaan and Phoenicia, the conical fez, or the cone-shaped fez, is known as the henan. This type of fez was also used by the ancient order of Magis. In modern day cinema, magicians and wizards are seen wearing the cone-shaped fez. In the old elementary school days, if you acted up, you were told to sit in the corner and the dunce hat was placed on top of your head. This dunce hat was the fez, and it was used to reform the child's mind and bring it back to knowledge, wisdom, and a certain maturity. Are you clear? Are we clear, fez? Are you understanding the context of what I'm saying? This bonnet, turban, fez, it should mean something. The fez worn by modern Moors are red in color and geometrically symbolizes the Great Pyramid of Giza or Gaza. The fez is also worn by Freemasons in the house of the shrine. After they become 32 and 33, that's only when they be able to put the fez on. That's why the European Masons call themselves sons of Muslims. I'm telling you. But that's a whole nother lecture. The Assyrian kings wore the fez, or a type of a fez. I mean, I can go on and on with the importance of the fez, Moors. So then don't let nobody connotate you with their religious dogma. I said I was going to teach you on this, but it's going to be tomorrow because I got to go train. I got a couple of clients I got to go train. But I'm going to teach on this adapt wisdom. I'm going to teach this. I promise you, Moors. I keep saying I'm going to do it. I'm going to teach it. I promise you. I just haven't had the proper time. But I'm going to close with this little wisdom. I'm going to get to my brothers and sisters. Economics. I got to break this down so we can get things in the right way. These are questions when people ask, what was Noble Drew Ali's mission? To save as many Asiatics as possible during the period of grace. When did grace period start? 1913 CE. When did it end? 2001 CE. How did our prophet travel? By compass and square. Explain. Of course, he used the compass to keep all his carnal desires under control. Picked up the square to straighten out all the crooked places of fallen humanity, to make the corners of our conduct square. I just read that in our Quran, didn't I, Moors? Didn't I just break that down in the Circle 7 Quran when I said you could trace yourself all over? I just broke it down. So you don't let nobody get you with their religious dogma. I just broke it down. I just broke that down in our Quran. I just broke it down. How did the prophet travel? Through the Masonic order until he became a noble. Then he entered Islam. So you got to understand what Masonic order. We ain't talking about no European stuff. We ain't talking about that. Who represents Islam in the West? Answer. Since 1912, CE, Noble Drew Ali. Did our holy prophet Noble Drew Ali enter the shrine? Absolutely. He did enter Islam that way. You got to understand what shrine is, but you let somebody tell you what the words mean. Getting you with their linguistic apartheid. Does this mean Moorish Americans should seek to become Masons and Shriners? Let me say this again. Does this mean Moorish Americans should seek to become Masons and Shriners? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because if you are Moor, and if you a Temple Moor, and you under the right auspices, if you don't got the 32 and 33 degrees in the temple you are in, what the hell you there for? You playing. You there under religious dogma. This is a science, man. Does this mean Moorish Americans should seek to become Masons and Shriners? Absolutely not. Why? Because there is no longer any need for this, because the prophet gave us 32 and 33 degrees in our divine instruction, number 2. When he placed the tarba and the mithra, which is the turban, on our kapta, which is our crown, and he gave us the science. That's why I said it has to be something under that fez, Moorish. It can't be no goofball Negro with no fez on, walking around. Talk about he's standing on his square. That don't mean nothing. Who among the highest of Rome entered Islam by practice? Masons, Moors. See, I'm going to tell you, because I ain't under no dogma. I study Sufism, just like Noble Drew Ali did. 99th primitive right of Memphis and Mizraim. Don't you know in the religious book, Mizraim is Memphis, Moors? What degrees do the Masons come to? At 32 degrees. What is the Masons' secret password? They use your Assalamu alaikum. They don't tell you. I'm telling you. What occurs then? A Mason bows to his knees to Islam, proclaims that Allah is God, becoming a practicing Muslim. Facts, Moors. Why are Shriners considered the joke of Masonry? because they left Christianity to practice a religion other than Baptists.